very back end. Now, this is one thing I did screw up on. Is that's why you got to make your measurements and give yourself room for error. Okay, so I originally was going to give myself 1.5 inch lip here, but I was going to give myself 1 inch of overhang over here. So when I first started to do this whole project a long time ago, I had measured this with 1 inch, so that way that part would be overlapping just barely. But I changed my mind at the last minute, and I said, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna put 1/2 inch because I didn't want to make it a tripping hazard, you know, somebody kicking it or being tippy or something. And because I didn't accommodate for that, I ended up with less space over here. This is gonna show it is what it is, but it's on the back side, so I'm not worried about it too much. If I want to, I guess I could always put another piece of wood here and make it a lip or something, or just leave it as is and just end up, you know, life lesson learned. So it looks like we're pretty much done. I'm still going to do a little bit more cosmetic work on it. I'm not really done on the backside. I still have to screw those, but I wanted to show you guys something where I screwed up. I thought I was going to have an excess of like a 16 footer because everything was looking great. But no, that wasn't the case. So what I figured out what I'm going to do there is I'm just going to cut like about 1 inch, get it like a 2x4 and cut 1 inch off and then just put it so that way it gives it a little bit of lip. And basically I'm going to get some of that boarding that we have on our home, that siding right there. I have some already inside my storage unit. So what I'll do is I'll just cut it into pieces and go ahead and slap it underneath there and slap it underneath there so you don't see none of that tape, and it gives it a deck look like ours. We're not going to stain ours anyways. You got to let it set at least a season, they say, so close to a year, because right now this is pressure treated wood, so it's wet. So if you try to stain it or anything, it's just not going to absorb into the wood, so you got to let it dry out. So they say about a good 6 months to 9 months or something like that. So we probably won't be doing it until fall time. We'll be staining this. Now what I wanted to show you on here, basically I kind of left them like that so that way these were exactly 10 footers. Those were 16 footers going down to like 12 footers and stuff. So what I did is I left a little bit off the edge, so that way what I do is I'm just going to run a line all the way down, got a chalk line, boom, drop it, and then I'll just run my saw and just cut it all off in one shot. It'll save me a lot more time, and it'll look flush, so it'll give it a nice flush look. I'm going to do the same thing to the backside. Now what I wanted to show you on the backside is this is not fun right here. So I thought I had enough wood. I didn't. I ran short. And because these pieces, this is what screwed me over, is these pieces, because you have to cut so much wood off, basically almost like a foot off on the back end, it shortens it up over here. So this piece right here ended up being a lot shorter than the rest of it. So to make up for it, let me see if I can make some room. To make up for it, what I did is I threw this little piece of wood right there, screwed it in, a little 6 incher, screwed it on both sides, so that way it'll give it support for this one once I put it back in. And maybe this little piece, it'll probably be a bigger piece because I want to be able to cut it off too. So this way it's not, once I screw it in, I'll screw it in basically here, here, and here, and it won't be tippy, you know what I mean? And this also will give it some more support on the back side. So we are running the magic chalk line, get it all the way down here, and then all I got to do is just line it up with the edge over here, pull it tight, and then I'll pop it with my finger. Just lift it up and pop it, but can't do it right now because I'm holding the phone. And there's my line. Now all I gotta do is just run the saw straight down the line, and it should be fine without grabbing any of the edges. This one kind of has me a little bit paranoid right here, but I got a good lip. That one has a little bit paranoid, but I'll barely be touching. I'm probably gonna run the outside of the line, the blue line. And voila. And that's how you cut it nice and tight. And I'm like right on the edge too, so it was a pretty good cut. Now all I need to do is just cut that one. And pretty much the deck is done. And we are done. Some looks pretty sharp. It's weird looking dimensions to it. But I gotta admit, it looks really good. All I gotta do is now put the barbecue grill up there. Build a, I think I'm gonna build a table for it too. I got this this piece here. I got it a while back. I found it really heavy and sturdy. So I figure if I can build myself a nice piece of wood, you drill it from the bottom to hold it down, and make a nice piece to put up there, nice and sturdy. So back to the little square, the little corner where I kind of messed it up. I went ahead and cut myself about 1.5 inch little piece of board, and just went ahead and screwed it on. So now it actually gives me a little lip. It definitely looks 10 times better now. You really can't even tell, I guess, from a distance. So not a bad deal. Fixing things little by little. So I went and got some got these long pieces here. Cut them down to 5 3/4. This is really 5 1/2, but I figured I want a little bit of going into the ground a little bit more, and then just pretty much screw it in, so that way we get a nice little deck look. Don't know if I brought this up, but I also did make this table here for the wife. I remember I told you guys I think I already had the base here, and all I did was just run some kind of built this like a picnic style, you know, 1 2x4 going across, and then a bunch of 4x6 6x2s going that way, and then I pretty much screwed them all in a line on the 2x4. And then once I got it down and put the table, I put the leg on top of the table, then I drilled some holes, and this is bolted all the way through to the bottom of the table. See, right there. Should hold. It's really heavy because this is pressurized wood, pressure treated wood, so kind of like a wet heavy. It'll probably get lighter. Only problem that kind of sucks about it is that I gotta wait for it to dry so I can sand it, and then we can paint it. So this probably is not gonna happen until summertime when this is nice and dry. Also started on the nice little walling here, little privacy fence that we're trying to set up. Coming along a little bit. I just put that up right now. It's not really screwed down or holding on. As you can see, I just wanted to see how much I need to cut off, and also how far I need to go out with my boards. I didn't want to waste more boards than needed. Now these were originally just they're like $2 a board. They're not really the greatest quality, so we went ahead and painted those already. They're not pressure treated, so we went ahead and painted so that way they'll last a little bit longer. It's got a nice little tint. We'll probably touch it up in little spots here where it's kind of dry later on. Like I said, I cut it a little bit long because it's always better to be long than end up a little bit short, and then you're like, what the hell I'm gonna do? So I left it a little bit long so that way I can go ahead and figure out exactly, now that I got it paired up against here, see, and it's just sitting there pretty much like a little bit of a gap, and I'm gonna end up running a 2.5 inch screw, 2 of them in here and 2 down there to hold it in place. Well, the deck is officially finished. Put up the privacy fence. You know, it's not, of course it's not the whole fence, but that alone was pretty pricey because it's cheap wood. It doesn't absorb the paint very well, so you got to use a shitload of paint. so that way it would just make it, and the reason why we put painted is so that way it wouldn't wouldn't go to shit once it got rain on it. It's spring, summertime. Finally finished up the little boards over here, so that way it adds it the same aesthetic as the backside board, see, with the little lip. It's funny, we mounted this with it's really just screwed on here and there, and it's pretty tight. It's retaining because of the little curve there, but then I ran this chain link fence wiring all the way through, and it's grabbing the pole, this other pole, it's grabbing it on the back side. Just twisted it tight so that way it'll hold. Did that for all three of them, and like I said, I twisted on the back side so that way we don't want to see the ugly on the inside of the house. Oh, deck building 101. I think it took me, what is today, Wednesday? Mm-hmm. So a week and a half?
Pretty much.
So yeah, this was about a week and a half's worth of work here. Not bad. It was fun.